Who breaks the power of fairy darkness? Whose love is mighty, it's so much stronger. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder? Who leaves us breathless, the all-in wonder? The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, sing for you all that you've done for me. Who brings the chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan the son and daughter? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who rules the nations with truth and justice? Shines like the sun, all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Go! This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. Yeah, you laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, sing for me all that you've done for me. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King of God, good the great. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King of God, good the great. Yeah. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King of God, good the great. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, yeah, worthy. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. Take my place, yeah, you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, sing for you all that you've done for me. Hey. All right. We are Rising Life. We are from Paducah, Kentucky. So if you notice an accent, we're from way down there. We're going to be playing for you this afternoon, and we're so honored to be here with FOA and thankful for everybody and Lord. And we're just going to keep playing. This is the Lion and the Lamb.
Mr. Scotty Mays. Where are you at, Scotty?
Dayton, Ohio, how we doing? Yeah, what a good day to be sober, right? Woo! Hey, I can't thank y'all enough for being here. What a beautiful day this turns out to be today. We're gonna have some fun, we're gonna have some music, we're gonna celebrate life, we're gonna celebrate people who are no longer here with us. But today is about family. I want you to take a look to your left and take a look to your right. And I want you to look at that person and go, welcome. Welcome to the family. Once again, my name's Scotty Mays. I'm a person in long-term recovery. What that means is I have not had a drink or a drug since January 13th of 2016. And the way that worked for me is one day at a time, because that's all we have. And today it's working for me. I'm going to try again tomorrow. The only thing you don't have to do today is pick up. That's it. The only thing you do have to do today is love each other. Because it's about the love. And if you're here today and you're struggling with that, I want to tell you right now, if nobody's told you they loved you, I'm going to tell you, I love you. I'm going to love you till you learn to love yourself. So hey, with that being said, we got raffles today. All right, be sure to go purchase some raffle tickets. There's some sweet prizes. A lot of cool prizes. And speaking of cool, there's these cooling towels as well. So cool off with one of those bad boys. There's a man walking around here. He's got a board. It's got all the raffle prizes on there. It's got the ticket prices. And are you ready? Are you going to take a picture real quick? Go ahead and take a picture. While Lori's taking my picture, I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you that after the rally tonight at 8 p.m., I'm headlining at Wiley's Comedy Club. That's just one of the gifts of sobriety for me in my life today. Wiley's Comedy Club is located in the Oregon District. It's the 5th oldest club in the nation. And I'll tell you what, if you want to laugh, come check me out. It's only $5, I'll make you holler. All right, so with that being said, I'm about to bring up somebody very special to me. This woman plays a huge part in my recovery. There was a day in January where I was ready to just call it quits. My life was over as I knew it. Then I got this phone number. I called this phone number, and the lady answered. And the fact that she answered meant the world to me, because at that time everybody had turned their backs on me, rightfully so. But that lady's name was Lori Arion. She gave me resources to follow up with. And with those resources, she helped save my life. I'm forever grateful for her. I love her like family. I'll do anything for her. So enough of me. Let me introduce to you the founder of FOA, Lori Arion.
Wow. Who ever thought of getting 63 resources in one place on a Sunday? Thank you, all of our resources for coming. So I want to tell you guys, last year, September 13th, after the rally, I made a commitment to lose weight and get healthy. Anyone here last year? That hasn't happened. But I want to ask you this. It didn't happen for me, and we're talking weight, so how do we expect our loved ones to get it right away and get it for a long time, right? We know this, it's a process, so I'm letting you know. I failed on my end, but please try to get educated and be understanding on that. So, I want to tell you guys, first of all of our sponsors and our donors that made this happen. I so appreciate them. Recovery Works Healing Center is our co-sponsor this year. Take the time, you guys, to go around all of the resources, see them, and really, like I said, take what you have to offer here today. Also, all of our media sponsors, we had Dayton City Paper, we had Cox Media, we also had WYSO, and Fox 45 and ABC 22. Without them, honestly, I'm not even sure that all of you would be here so far. They did a great job in getting this out, and how far have we come in 5 years, right? We started this, I think we had 500 people here, right? And so today, we have upwards of probably 3,000 to 4,000 people. So thank you. Yeah, we will get them here. And so you guys, so thank you to our media sponsors for making this happen. And honestly, lastly, does anyone want to know why it's called We the People this year? Yeah? I don't know if Barry's staff is over there, but I was having a conversation with Doug Barry. And we were talking about the rally, and I asked him, I said, do you know anyone famous? And he said, why? And I said, to get people to the rally. And he said, but isn't it about the people? And I'm like, yeah, it's about the people. So this year, the rally is all about us. It's about the people, we the people. And that's where the theme came from. That's where our 5th anniversary FOA shirts that will be all for the next year came from. We changed the front. They're over there for sale. I just can't say enough about the fact that this is all about us. And then when I say us, it's families, it's friends, it's siblings, it's significant others. I'm not sure that there's any other rally that totally sees the family's part. I don't know, Scotty, is there? I don't know, but you know what? Here we are today, you guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you to every single volunteer that made this happen. We've been here since about 9 o'clock. So volunteers, raise your hands. Who's a volunteer today? Give them a round of applause, please. All right. So with that, you guys, there's a lot going on. I want to tell you something. Your program, get a program. It is the guidebook to today. On the back is the agenda. On the inside is all of our resources by number, right? You only want to see one resource, look at the map. It tells you where to go. All right? Right, Brian? Yeah. And so really, get a program. They are everywhere, okay? And on the inside of it, you guys, all right, anybody who was here last year, on the inside of the program is last year's big picture. All right? So take it, keep it, and just know we're about to make history today. So thank you, everyone. Thank our sponsors, donors, media, in-kind people. I mean, there's so many of you to thank. Inside the program, list those people that made this happen. Take a look and visit them. Thank you so much.
Glory on everyone. Now you can do better than that. Glory on everyone. Now the next person I'm going to bring up here. When Lori gave me those numbers to call for resources, I called all these numbers. I wasn't having any luck getting into treatment. The last number I called was Recovery Works Healing Center. The gentleman's name was Richard Confer. I went in, got my assessment, and I was able to start treatment that day. And from that day on, my life has not been the same since. I can't stress enough what this man has done for me in my life. He's truly my hero. And I'm also forever grateful for him. So let me introduce Richard Confer, everyone.
Does it to me every time. He makes me start to tear up before I walk on stage. And it's hard to fight back those tears. Dayton, Ohio, this is what sobriety looks like. I want to thank Lori, FOA, all the volunteers, all the resources. We have some great collaboration in Montgomery County going on. Many agencies are working together. The whole goal is to save lives. Reunite families, bring hope to our community again. We have been in the battle of the worst drug addiction, mental health crisis that we've seen, and we're starting to make a difference. And I hope you guys are starting to see that in your lives. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you on all the services we do, but I'm going to tell you why we do what we do. There's a couple signs down here. It talks about the people we've lost, and then the people that are in recovery. And one of the signs, someone very dear to me is on. I lost my own daughter last year in April to an accidental drug overdose. And instead of throwing in the towel, we got busy. I don't want her death to be in vain. I don't want anyone's loss to be in vain. So we got busy and started bringing more services to our community. We added mental health services. We added psychiatric care.
Around there again.
And we do all these things. Why? Because sobriety means so much to me. You know, I've been affected by addiction my entire life. I grew up in an alcoholic home. I become an alcoholic, and I'm a person in long-term recovery myself. And then nothing prepared me to what was going to be next, which was to face the battle of the addiction that my daughters had to go through. One of my daughters is here today, and she just celebrated a 1.5 years of sobriety. I see a lot of recovery works in the house. I see a lot of people here at FOA. This is beautiful up here. This is beautiful. You don't know how great it is and how honored and grateful I am to be sober and up here with you guys today. This is where I feel at home. I go to the treatment center. I'm there with people that became sick. I don't care how they got that way, but the goal is to help them get better, help them walk again, help them believe in themselves again, reunite families, bring people back together. One last thing I want to touch on. One last thing I want to touch on is something that's also very dear to me. I think we have a crisis that's on the horizon, and it's probably already here, is with our children and our adolescents. I don't want people don't have to wait for treatment. They don't have to wait for help. If they call us, they're going to get help. And we're going to bring that to the adolescent and children's community. We're going to kick off our mental health, and it'll eventually roll into the substance abuse program for youth, adolescents, and children at our mental health center. And that's due to open and start October 1st. We have a crisis on our hand. We have children growing up without parents. We have children growing up in foster care. The system's overburdened, and we got to do something, or we're going to be back in this battle again in a few years. And it's never going to stop. So I just want to let you know we're here for you. I'm going to be right over here at this tent. And I am oh so grateful to be here with all of you. Thank you, Dayton, Ohio. Thank you, Montgomery County. God bless you, and I love you.
It's all the same. Life was just a game. AAA. But everyone that's in your way, that's the price you pay. Oh, when every now and then I could see that this life was so empty. Took a hold of my heart. Now I'm free. Now the way is crystal clear. I see it all from here. Now I know the way I will lift you up in praise. I was lost, but now I'm found. I was almost underground. Now I know the way I will lift you up in praise. We're living for ourselves, and this world has fell away. But the stakes are just too great. It's now or it's too late. Oh, the chain. Thank you, fell too far.
going to play it's a song off our last record. This is called Come Alive. We actually made a music video in conjunction with FOA to this song that you can see on YouTube. Just go to our YouTube channel, look up Rising Life Band, and you'll find it. It's called Come Alive. It's the FOA edition.
We got a couple speakers getting ready to come up to the stage. The first gentleman I'm going to introduce, his name is Jeff Daniels. He's a regional representative for Senator Brown's office. He has a letter from the senator that he would like to share with us. Jeff Daniels, everyone.
Good afternoon, everybody. So we've had the opportunity to work with FOA on a number of things. They've been a great partner and they do a ton of great work for this region. We thought it was important to come out and recognize all of you here today and FOA in general. While Senator Brown wasn't able to join us, he did pass along a letter that he wanted me to read, so I'll take this opportunity to do that now. Dear friends, Thank you to Lori, April, and everyone with FOA for holding the annual Rally for Recovery and for all that you do in the Miami Valley. Every community in our state has been touched by the addiction epidemic. I've held roundtables across Ohio, and whenever I bring up this issue, I see people's expressions start to change, heads start to nod. Tragically, Ohio leads the country in opioid deaths. We need a comprehensive approach to combat addiction at every level, from prevention to treatment to recovery. It's why I've worked across the aisle to find ways to get communities the tools that you need, including making sure Ohio is first in line to receive new federal dollars we passed as part of the bipartisan budget agreement this spring. Senator Portman and I have also introduced legislation to lift the cap on the number of beds residential substance abuse facilities can have while still receiving Medicaid funding. And we've teamed up on a pair of bills to keep illegal fentanyl off Ohio's streets. We also need to work to get family members the support that they need. This summer, the President signed my bill, the Supporting Grandparents Raising Grandchildren Act, to learn more about the challenges facing grandparents and other relatives in Ohio who have stepped up as caregivers so we can support them as they raise children whose parents are victims of this epidemic. Make no mistake, Washington does not make gains on its own. We do best when we take our cues from folks like you who work on the front lines. As such, I will continue to work with activists like you to find solutions. On behalf of all Ohioans, I thank you for dedicating this important day to combating the public health crisis that tears too many families apart. I look forward to the work that we will do in the years to come. Sincerely, Sherrod Brown, United States Senator. Thank you.
Jeff Daniels, everyone. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Senator Brown, as well. Next gentleman I'm going to bring up, he's a representative for Ohio House of Representatives. Please help me introduce Neeraj Antani.
Well, thank you, Scotty, and thank you, Lori, for having me. My name is Neeraj Antani. I am the state representative for Southern Montgomery County. Just wanted to congratulate FOA on their 5th annual Rally for Recovery. This is a huge achievement. This organization obviously has made not only a local and regional impact, but also an impact across the state and nationally as it serves for a model for so many other communities. And that is truly a testament to Lori's work, to the board's work, to all of the volunteers and all of you involved. Also, let me congratulate all of you who are in recovery. This is not easy. It is a tough epidemic across the country for all of you. And your courage and your work will truly lead to a better life, not only for yourself, but also for your family and for our community. Before I give this proclamation to Lori, I also have an ask of you. At the state level, we've done a lot. We're funding treatment to the tune of $1 billion through the Medicaid program. We've increased penalties on drug traffickers, on drug dealers, but we know we can do more. But many of these ideas do not come from legislators. They come from you. They come from you who have experienced this tragedy and this epidemic. And so if any of you have an idea for a state bill, for a state law, for a program that you think can alleviate this epidemic, please email me. My email is my first name, my last name, at ohiohouse.gov. Neeraj.Antani at ohiohouse.gov. Email me personally, and I would love to work with you on helping to solve this epidemic. But so on behalf of the Ohio House of Representatives, on behalf of the Ohio General Assembly, congratulations to FOA on their 5th annual Rally for Recovery. Thank you very much.
The next gentleman I'm going to bring up, man, how can I express what he has done, just in not just the state of Ohio, but in the nation. This guy is truly incredible. He has a book out called American Fix, and the dude is making waves in the recovery community, the recovery nation for that matter. It is my honor to introduce to you Mr. Ryan Hampton, everyone.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Hampton, and I will never forget November 25th, 2014. It was the night before Thanksgiving, and yet I was walking into treatment one more time. Everything I owned, believe it or not, at that time fit into 2 hefty trash bags. I was homeless, strung out, scared. I'd struggled to find a treatment center that would take me, even though I called dozens every single day. The barriers were really high for me, as I'm sure they were for many people who are here with us today. I had no insurance, no money for private pay. Staying alive, it seemed for me and it seemed for my family, was a race against the clock. Every single place that I went to, the lists were long. Waiting lists, 30, 60, 90 days, some of them 6 months plus. I was painfully aware, as was my family, that I might just die before ever getting that phone call that there was a place for me somewhere. But guess what? I didn't die. I lived. I found recovery. I found purpose. And now, almost 4 years later into my recovery, I and you are living proof that recovery works, and it can change every single thing that you think you know about addiction, about our community, and about our country. My recovery didn't begin with me, and it certainly won't end with me. I decided early on that I was going to live my recovery out loud. I'm proud of my journey, and you should be proud of your journey too. I wrote a book about it. We're just talking about it. It's called American Fix. It's supposed to, and I hope that it helps people understand where this crisis comes from, why it's happening, and most importantly, gives us something that we can do about it right now today. It's not about statistics, it's not about data, it's not about science. We hear about that all the time. It's about you, it's about me, it's about our community, because after all, at the end of the day, we are not statistics, we're people. For me, recovery actually began the day I left treatment. I found recovery housing, I found health care, stable peer recovery supports. Most importantly, I found purpose. These are the essential parts of my personal recovery that keep me alive every single day. I think one of the reasons today that people aren't connecting with long-term recovery is that we're calling addiction a health problem, when today, August 2018, this is a health crisis. We need to do more. If we are lucky, we will get 1/2 of 1/10%. And when I say that, I mean recovery supports, such as what FOA does, such as recovery housing. We will get 1/2 of 1/10% of the budget. Money is spent on early intervention, treatment, prevention. These are all very, very important things, but they're just one piece of the puzzle. To keep people alive and show them that there is another way, we need to start investing in recovery. And I want to say, you know, it's really, for me personally, to be here in Dayton, it's so awesome. I want to thank Lori. I want to thank FOA. You know, my best friend Garrett's here with me. We travel the country constantly. We go to recovery rallies. We go to events. It is very rare that you will find one spot like this today where there are thousands of people who are showing up to celebrate recovery. Dayton is a really special place to me. Some of you may have heard of a project called the Voices Project. We decided to launch it here in Dayton a little bit over a year and a half ago. Many people who are here were part of those stories, and I do want to tell you that those stories aren't just being heard here in Dayton. They've opened up hearts and minds all across this country. They're being viewed by millions of people. Thousands of people that are here today. Thousands, people in recovery, their families, and their community. That's a lot. And I think everybody here today is ready to make a little bit of noise. Now, some people have said that Dayton is the epicenter of the drug crisis. You know, I hear it described often as the overdose capital of the nation. And I was going back, and Casey Steckling, who's out here with Dayton Recovers, I was going back and forth with him last night on this. I would argue that Dayton actually, and today is proof of it, Dayton is the recovery capital of the United States. And every single person who is here is living proof that we have found a solution. We won't be statistics. We are going to be the solution. We're going to show this country what recovery really looks like, and we're going to live it out loud like we are today. Now, I didn't set out in the beginning to become an advocate, an activist, a writer, or anything like that. I wasn't planning on showing up at rallies like FOA today. Honestly, I just wanted to stay sober, and I didn't want to die. That's it. But recovery ended up giving me so much more. Like so many others that are here today, my advocacy was really a response to losing those who were closest to me to this crisis. Shortly after I got sober, we lost one of my best friends, Greg, and his death not only changed my life, but it changed our community. Greg was one of my first real friends in early recovery. We were part of the same sober community in Pasadena, and we knew all the same people. He used to make me laugh so hard those first couple of months that I would literally cry for hours. Over the holiday months, when we both went home to see our families that year, we had kept in touch. The last time we had spoke, I was in Florida with my family in South Florida, and Greg was off to Texas to see his. We had made plans to get back together when we got back, but that never happened. A week later, I had found out that Greg had overdosed, and he was dead. He was a casualty of this crisis, a statistic. He wasn't a number to me, though. He was my friend. He had been doing exactly what I had been doing. Sober living, AA meetings, trying to change. And just like that, he was gone. Greg's death and the way people responded to it, or didn't respond, was a very big deal to me. It was unacceptable. And that's really what flipped the switch for me inside. I couldn't stay silent anymore. In what world for me or anybody else was it okay to just sit idle as the people closest to you were dying left and right? And at that moment, I knew that we needed to do something different. We needed to change the way that we view and treat addiction and recovery. I couldn't live in the shadows. And I had decided that I was no longer going to live with this shame that had been carried around with me for over a decade. We are people, everybody here, we are people with the power to stop addiction and, more importantly, to inspire recovery. And you know what that means? It means that we, everybody here, we are not the problem. Others will tell you that our illness is our fault, but that's simply not true. We did not create this crisis. We did not create this epidemic, but we are empowered to end it. We know what to do. We know how to end this crisis. What does that look like? Well, for starters, it looks like this. It looks like what you're looking at right here today. FOA is a perfect example. This is an organization, a peer network that supports people at every single stage in their recovery. They speak out, they get people involved, and they encourage others to talk about their recovery. FOA is a perfect example, in my opinion, of what we need to be doing to end this crisis. There needs to be an FOA in every single city and town all around America. And I think, you know, last week, I spent some time with some parents. My best friend and I were over in Stamford, Connecticut. If you know anything about Stamford, it is the headquarters of what I like to call America's #1 drug cartel, Purdue Pharma. And I think that it's an elephant in the room that we need to start talking about a little bit more. The stories that I heard, the people that I met, the pictures that I saw impacted me and continue to impact me greatly and fuel the work that we do. We spoke out against Purdue Pharma's attempt to dodge accountability for their role in the ongoing opioid crisis. Their guilt is 100% undeniable. All you have to do is look at the numbers. They care about revenue, not people's lives. Because their profits have come first, they have tried to avoid paying the American people the billions, not the millions, the billions of dollars that they owe in reparations. That's right, I said billions with a B. That's what they've made off of my dead friends, off of our dead kids, our dead communities, for over 2 decades, pushing highly addictive drugs into the American mainstream. Billions of dollars for hundreds of thousands of lives. Yet they have the audacity to blame us for being sick. I don't know about anyone else here, but all my addiction did for me was make me broke, homeless, isolated, sick, ashamed, desperate, and nearly dead. My bottom line was a big fat zero. Where is our community's billions of dollars? Our community will not be bought off with token legal settlements that are happening right now. That's not enough. As many of you know, Purdue pled guilty in 1998 for criminal charges for knowingly misrepresenting the risks of OxyContin and lying to our medical community, paying over $650 million in fines. 3 top executives for this big pharma company were convicted of criminal charges, yet they continued to push this lethal drug into our communities. Those pills help create a national health crisis that kills almost 1 person every 4 minutes in this country. What is the price tag on human life? Purdue would rather nickel and dime the American people to preserve their bottom line. Greed motivated them to lie about the risks of OxyContin and other opioids. And greed is motivating them to avoid culpability for their actions. And we will not accept it. This community, recovery advocates all around this country, we will not accept it. Purdue owes us billions of dollars in reparations. Billions to not only pay for the pain and suffering that they have caused families here in Ohio and all across America, but billions to fix the broken infrastructure of healthcare, criminal justice, addiction treatment, and education. Purdue's profits are built on a pile of corpses. My friends, your children, parents, partners, neighbors. We have got to start calling them out and calling them out loud. We have got to let them see what we are doing. We know that they are a huge problem in this crisis. Millions of dollars, when you think about it, that's pocket change for Purdue and Big Pharma. Instead, they'll spend tiny fractions of what they owe us, what they owe our community, by buying activists, spending millions on reputation laundering, setting up quote-unquote advocacy funds, and pushing their agenda through politicians. It's one lie after another lie, and we cannot buy it. We have to stand up. They think that we're gonna forget what they've done to us, our families, and our communities. And I'm here to tell you that we're not gonna forget about it. How could we? Since I've entered into recovery, I've lost, and I know this is not unique, I've lost well over 24 friends in the last 2 years. Greg was the first, but he certainly will not be the last. And I refuse to believe at the end of the day that it's because he just didn't want it enough. My friends and the thousands of others are victims of corporate greed, ignorance, fear. They were young, smart, talented, funny. They were just like so many of the young people who struggle to stay sober and alive here in Dayton and across the country. They deserve a chance. So let me just end really quick by saying that our voices, they start right here, they start in Dayton, Ohio. It's about you, it's about me, it's my voice, your voice, it's all of our voices. It's about Dayton, it's about Ohio, it's about every single state in this country. Today is the day to get up and do something. You know, Overdose Awareness Day is just around the corner. It's in a few days on August 31st. And I will, as I always do, I'll go to my local vigil. I'll remember the people that I've lost, that I've loved. But I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to grab a clipboard. I hope you'll join me. Knock on some doors. Call some neighbors. Register some voters. We have got to get into the middle of this thing. That's why when you leave here, You need to take all of this energy and everything that's going on here with you. You need to take it out into your community. You need to volunteer with one of these local organizations. Volunteer with FOA. Register to vote. There's a voter registration booth right back there. Take it to the ballot box. And I know there's people, there are people that I've met, if you're not satisfied with what's happening with your policy leaders, then run for office. Put your name on the ballot. Get something done. Sometimes we can help provide solutions better than the policy leaders who are sitting in office. So get involved and get into the middle of this thing. We're not going to give up until every single person in Ohio and in this country knows that recovery is our agenda, period. We're going to keep fighting for every single dollar until our communities are healed, until we can put an end to this public health crisis. We all have a voice. That's the most important thing that we can leave here with today. Our voice is powerful, and our collective voice is powerful beyond measure. Thank you all for having me. Come see me. I'm going to be right over at this booth over here on the side of the stage. It's great to be here. Thanks, everybody.
We're going to feature the nice lady over here to the right. This is Raven Boss. She's going to... This is Try.
Sometimes I think that it's better to never ask why. Funny how the heart can be deceiving, more than just a couple times. Why do we fall in love so easily, even when it's not right? You're doing, or are you just getting by? Tell me, are you just getting by? Where there is desire, there is gonna be a flame. Where there is a flame, someone's bound to get burned. But just because it burns doesn't mean you're gonna die. You gotta get up and try. You gotta get up and try.
All right, we're gonna play the theme song from last year's balloon launch as we lead in to get ready for this year's. This is Heart Flames.
I wake up, I take a breath, look in the mirror, see myself. I read your word and I see the light. I open up and I come alive. I take the day, I praise your name. I know my life will never be the same, 'cause everything that I say and do, every breath, it's all for you. Letting go of my life's concern always seemed so absurd. Love and faith had been misplaced. Then at the cross I saw your face. Now my whole world has changed. Your love has put my heart in flames. I lay it down, I quit this race. I am now in your grace. Think of all of my life's mistakes, all the times that I brought disgrace. I lived my life like there was no end, always rejecting my eternal friend. Now this day that I start anew, I realize that I have no clue why he lets me with a wife and son. After all the things I've done, when you're broken and you're at the end, your heart and soul, he will be fed. All he asks is for your faith. Almighty God, no, he never fails. Now my whole world has changed. Your love has put my heart in flame. I lay it down, I quit this race. I am now in your grace. When you're broken and you're at the end, your heart and soul, he will be fed. All he asks is for your faith. Almighty God, no, he never fails. Now my whole world is changed. Your love has put my heart in flame. I lay it down, I quit this race. I am now in your grace.
Thank you. Mr. Scotty Beck.
place, see you face to face, let your power overflow. I'm not shaking, I'm not letting go. Everything comes alive, my life has been linked you high. Let your freedom arise, our life has been lift you up. Sing it out, sing it up, your freedom is here. Your freedom is here. I will not fear, I will not hide love, love. All of my life, I cannot deny love, love. Everything comes alive. My life has been lift you high. Let your freedom arise. My life has been lift you up. Sing it out, sing it out. Everything comes alive. My life has been lift you high. Let your freedom arise. Our life has been lift you up. Sing it out, sing it out. Freedom is here. Your freedom is here.
All right.
To be only man that matters to me. Only one is fair, I see. Only man that matters to me. Years will be the friendship and affection I need. To feel my father smiling on me. Only man that matters to me. Yours is the name that saved me. Mercy and grace, the fire that forgave me. And your love is all I ever needed. When I wake up in the land of glory with the saints, I will tell my story. There will be one name that I proclaim. When I wake up in the land of glory with the saints, I will tell my story. There will be one name that I proclaim. This will be the only name that matters to me. Only one is fair.
be sober? Give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, y'all ready for this? Nah, that ain't gonna work. Y'all ready for this? All right. If you have 40 plus years of sobriety, come on up front right here. Nah, he doesn't. Nah, don't clap for him. If you have 30 plus years of sobriety, come on up front. Oh man, I want what you have. I want that.
Are you willing to go to any length?
If you have 25 plus years, come on up. Man, there's some beautiful people up here. 20 plus years, come on down.
I ain't got 20 minutes.
15 plus years, come on down. Years, come on down. All right, we're ahead of schedule, so we're going to do it this way. 9 years. Years.
How long have you been doing this?
7 years. 6 years.
We'll go away, though. It's not going to go forever.
5 years.
Mind the way? No, he's going to pump me a little bit. Yeah, you guys got to stay away from those. Great.
4 years. 3 years.
Okay, we had a change of MCs for a minute because we didn't want Scotty to be quite so egotistical as to call his number and be up here on stage. 2 years! Ain't it wonderful? Y'all know this is in a row, right? Okay, all right, just checking. 1 year of continuous recovery. Woo!
How'd you do it?
11 months.
Yeah, I guess
10 months. Yeah. 9 months. 8 months. Here they come, here they come. 8 months. 7 months. Here they are, come on in. 6 months of continuous recovery. 5 months. 4 months. 3 months. 2 months. 1 month of continuous recovery. 2 weeks to a month. 1 week to 2 weeks. 6 days. 5 days. 4 days. 3 days. 'We got a 3-day coming in on the side here. Here we go. 3 days. Here we go. 2 days. 2 days. There we go. Let him hear it. We all had to have our first 2 days. Your first 24 hours of continuous recovery. Who's here? Bring it in. This is a picture you can't get anywhere else but in recovery. We're all here to celebrate the fact that recovery is real and recovery works, and we are proof, and we are what recovery looks like.
Time coming, but I'm finally here. Been searching for redemption, just fighting these fears. Sitting here in this little white church, I lay it down. I was lost, but thank God I am found. I'm singing and let it all go. Let the balloons go! Now I'm singing hallelujah and amen. For making me free. Hey, singing hallelujah and amen. Hallelujah, I am born again. Hallelujah, now I see. Thank you, Lord, yeah, for making me free. For making me free. All right. Who breaks the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty? It's so much stronger. The King of glory, the King above all kings. Shakes the earth with only thunder, who leaves us breathless, in awe and wonder, the King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love, that you would take my place. Done for me. Who brings the chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan the son and daughter? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Rules the nation with truth and justice.